the administration has this view that it will turn the corner on major fossil fuel development, infrastructure, big projects. It's not going to happen. In those same red counties, in those same red states, the voters, the residents, are a lot greener than the people that they send both to their legislature and to Congress. So I've done stories all over the United States now about pipeline development, right? Kentucky, one of the reddest states in the country now, has rejected 2 big natural gas pipelines through red counties where you have Democrats and Republicans, environmentalists and business people saying, we don't want these pipelines. Why? Well, underlying most of these is the concern of water, leaks and water contamination. And we see in the Great Plains with both the Keystone and the Dakota Access Pipeline how powerful the concerns for land and water is for these new fossil fuel infrastructure development projects. So smart investors are not investing in ExxonMobil any longer. ExxonMobil has pulled out $4+ billion worth of investment in the Canadian tar sands in Alberta. So is Shell, so is Conoco, so have the Chinese investors. So the unconventional fossil fuel development in Alberta is in trouble. Is there a need for expanding the oil pipeline network in North America? The pipeline companies say there is, but they base it on the fact that the tar sands capacity in Alberta will expand, will increase. Well, tar sands capacity is growing, but at a much slower rate than it did 4 or 5 years ago when oil was $100 a barrel, not $44 a barrel. And the producers of tar sands oil will tell you they need to have oil at least $60 a barrel to make a cash flow. And so major oil companies are abandoning the tar sands. Exxon, $4 billion written off. Mobil, Conoco, Shell, the Chinese, they're starting to move out of the tar sands because it's a terrible investment. So is tar sands oil capacity going to increase significantly? Don't think so. Don't think so, because globally, the amount of oil that we're using is flat. It's increasing very, very small. Why? Vehicles are getting much more efficient, and electrical vehicles are coming online fast, and natural gas vehicles are coming online much faster. So you have to ask, who's financing and what are the numbers that are backing a multi-billion-dollar proposed expansion of North American pipelines? And the third piece of this is people are fighting it everywhere. The pipelines are under siege everywhere they're proposed. Kinder Morgan's pipeline from the tar sands to the West Coast, under siege. Enbridge's type pipeline through the Great Lakes area region to Maine or Canada on the Atlantic side, under siege everywhere. And Keystone XL pipeline from Hardisty, Alberta, to the Gulf Coast for production as gasoline to be exported, under siege everywhere. And it's not even clear that Nebraska is going to approve it. So we're in this really interesting time where citizens are responding, pipeline makers are saying we're going to need the capacity, and bankers are in the middle of this saying, do we want to go here? Do we want to invest in this? How long does this investment last? Is our billions going to make return profit? And the opponents have gone after that financial piece of the picture, looking at investors. So, investors are beginning to disinvest from these fossil fuel projects. This is extraordinary. I mean, this wasn't happening 5 years ago. There's so much changed in the United States, in Canada, around pipeline development.